India's largest sugar refiner, Shree Renuka Sugars, may be talking to Balrampur Chini, the country's second largest sugar company. The talks centre around a possible acquisition for Renuka. The deal is attractive as it will give the sugar factories in eastern UP as well as access to northern and northeastern markets. Renuka already has raw sugar refinery in Haldia port. The Sarogi family, which owns Balrampur Chini, has been looking for a buyer for quite some time now, and earlier they were speaking with Bajaj Hindustan, though that deal did fall through. Well, for more on this, we're talking with Shivam Pandey from our research desk, Abhinava Das from our corporate bureau, and Nidhi Nath Srinivas in Delhi, our commodities editor from our favorite newspaper, The Economic Times. Good to have you all on the show. Thanks so much for joining us. Shivam, let's go to you first. Tell us what the market buzz surrounding this mega deal is all about.
Well said. Almost a month and a half after the talks with Bajaj Hindustan failed, again the promoter stake sale in Balrampur is the buzzword on the street, and this time it's Renuka Sugar which is supposed to be buying the company. If you talk about the valuations of Balrampur, they are widely varied, because at the closing market price of 144 rupees per share, the company is valued at around 1300 odd crore rupees. But what we hear from the street is that the promoters are asking for rupees 215 per share. So that 215 rupees, the entire stake translates to almost 2024 odd crore rupees plus 25 crore rupees non-compete fees, makes it almost 2050 crore rupees. But what experts are telling us that Renuka is willing to offer almost 175 rupees per share. That translates to almost 1650 crore. So valuation still a concern. But if you look at the deal, this time it might be a better integration for both of them, because Renuka has a plant in Haldia, and as we all know, Balrampur has a vast presence in East India. So it might be a good buy for Renuka. But if you talk about Renuka's recent past, they have already done a acquisition in Brazil for $82 million, and they had raised some 500 odd crore rupees through QIP in recent past. But that money is not available with them, because their Gujarat plant, which is being constructed, requires almost 500 crore odd rupees. So money might not be easy, and that deal might be a bit stretched. But market men believe that this time the deal might go through, and Balrampur stake sale might happen this time.
Hey, Abhinava, Shree Renuka is a much smaller player compared to Balrampur. Very interesting there. How might this change the fortunes if this acquisition does actually go through?
Well said. Compared to Balrampur, Renuka is a much smaller company. If you look at the capacities of the two companies, it's only around 35,000 tons crushed per day, Shree Renuka's capacity, compared to around 100,000 for Balrampur Chini. Now, if you club the two, I mean, the total capacity goes up to around 1,20,000–1,30,000 tons crushed per day for the two companies coming together. That makes it the second largest sugar company as compared to Bajaj Hindustan, which is the industry leader. But yes, I mean, it takes Shree Renuka to a different league altogether, because the company, as Shivam was mentioning, also made its first overseas acquisitions in recent weeks by paying around $82 million. So the pecking order changes completely, and to an extent, Shree Renuka Sugars becomes a far important player as far as the sugar industry is concerned.
But Nidhi, this has to benefit both the companies, right? What's in it for Balrampur Chini then?
I think it's a win-win deal for both. Together, the consolidated company will have a 5 to 7% share of India's domestically produced sugar market. Renuka, as you know, already has a 30% share of the imported raw sugar in the free market. So together, obviously, they'll be a very big player in the Indian market. The other thing is that at the moment, Balrampur, while it has modern factories, it's not very good in trading sugar, which is a very big strength with Shree Renuka. So I think that skill set will be transferred onto Balrampur as well. The other thing is that it gives Shree Renuka an all-India geographical footprint, which I think is very important for a company which is seeking to expand in the west, in the south, and now in the north. As they've already mentioned, they have a refinery in Haldia. There's another one coming up in Gujarat. So I think put together, the consolidated company is going to be more than the sum of the two companies that will create it.
Nidhi, just stay with us for a second. Abhinava, I wanted to go back to you. Shivam was talking about Bajaj Hindustan ready to pay up, what, 180 rupees per share. Those talks, of course, called off. What's your sense this time around? Is this deal going to happen? Because it seems the markets believe so.
Well, Sid, it's a very difficult call because last time, if you remember, the deal essentially didn't go through because Balrampur Chini was asking for the cash front before the shares were transferred. And that was, in fact, a trust issue between the two promoters. In fact, it is very clear by now that the two sides were not trusting each other. And that's one reason, apart from the valuation reason, of course, that the deal didn't go through. But if you look at the sense that we are getting this time, the two sides are in active discussions right now. In fact, Inam and Motilal Oswal, they are advising the two sides when it comes to this transaction. And barring some unforeseen events, it's very likely that the deal could be struck as soon as next week.
Nidhi, very quickly, how is this going to help the sugar industry overall?
I think it's going to be a landmark move. I think it shows that the industry is ready for consolidation. It shows that the industry is moving from the traditional sugar baron kind of management to a more professional kind of management. It will allow companies to scale up their technology. It will give them efficiencies of scale. And it will allow them to get an international platform which sheer size can bring. So I think as far as consolidation goes, it's really a good move for the entire sugar industry.
Guys, thank you so much for all that detail. Nidhi, Abhinava and Shivam talking all about Shree Renuka possibly buying out Balrampur Chini and the impact on the industry.